We're in a different part of the shed tonight and we're looking at claws. These are lobster claws, different sizes. These were collected in the Farne Islands, so in the northeast. You can see the lobster claws are all different sizes and shapes. These were collected from the seabed where they've been predated on by seals. And they've been dried out. When they dry out, lobster claws sometimes delaminate like this. The outer layer of the claw comes away, but they're kind of wonderful in their distressed state. And these are claws of edible crabs. So we've all picked up claws on the beach. So I thought we'll draw a claw today, probably using, I think, pencils today, just normal pencils. And we're in a different shed today, in the inner sanctum of the shed. We were through there yesterday. Okay, right, here we go. Lobsters have claw dimorphism, so one claw is larger than the other, and we're drawing the fine claw for 30 minutes or so today. So starting drawing with a pencil today, so trying to clarify the edge of the cutting edge of the claw here. This is the dactyl, the upper bit. There's the moving section. It's the only part of the claw that moves. The dactyl is controlled by this big muscle inside the main body of the claw, and the dactyl is the bit that grabs and in this case cuts. This is a cutter claw. Lobsters have two claws, main claws. They are different sizes. One is a crusher claw, one is a cutter claw used for cutting and seizing and kind of finer movements. And then they have obviously smaller legs behind that, the first three sets of which have little claws also. Claws sometimes get called pincers. This is the fine pincer, essentially. So the cutter claw here, you can see I'm trying to clarify some of the patterning on the surface. I've defined my edge. As always, personally, I start with a kind of an outline and a shape, and then I kind of build detail into that. There's no way to draw, one way to draw. There's lots of different ways to draw, but we all develop our ways of working. I think it's easy to neglect the detail, and I think if you look at the detail, in this case the patterning on the claws, it's really important, because you mustn't neglect that, because if you do, you kind of miss the point of the drawing. You need to capture that detail. So I'll take some time making sure I'm capturing the little marks and little dappling, the little elements on the surface that make up that detail, in this case the kind of marbling of the pattern on this dried claw. And then, having decided where the marbling marks are, I'm dropping in shading around those, leaving deliberately lighter areas that I've defined, or darker areas, and working over the top to kind of build up layers of drawing. When you're shading, you're putting in layers along kind of lines to kind of capture the shape. So I'm using the shading to define the shape, but I'm also using it to show the patterning on the surface. So it's about getting those edges right, and then it's about dropping in the shading and building up layers of darkness and tonal variation. So you want to make sure that you're using the shading to kind of one on top of the other to kind of pick out those details, and then as you get on with the shading and you're adding that tone, adding those darker tones that kind of puncture the drawing. I'm losing the light here as I was drawing tonight. I remember the sun was going down, so you can see now I've stepped away from the light so you can actually see the drawing as I move away from the light. And then here's some other studies from claws I had drawn previously. All of these were collected, as I say, from the Farne Islands. Beautiful lobster claws. Have fun drawing, guys.